Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fall inspired makeup tutorial. It is also a recreation of a photo that I have admired for several years. It is makeup done by another artist whose name is Jade Baird. She goes by JadyWady180 here on YouTube and also on Instagram. And this is the photo that I'm going to be recreating, or this picture, I'm sure you've seen it. It's all over Pinterest and Google Images. If you look up fall makeup, you always tend to get that berry lip, that deep vampy look. It just seems to scream fall. And then this photo, I'm sure, even if you looked it up right now, it would probably pop up. It's a couple years old because I remember when Jade actually had it first posted on her blog. I've admired it for several years, but I always was just too afraid to ever even put on a dark lip. But lately I've been kind of venturing out of my comfort zone, and I decided, what the heck? I think it's gorgeous. It's fall inspired, so let's just do it. So I hope that you enjoy this tutorial. I hope that you learned something from it. If you've always admired that photo and just wanted to see how you could achieve the look for yourself, then please keep watching. So first, let me start off by saying I'm not naked. I have on a little like strapless jumpsuit. I prime my eyes with some Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. No primer on my face, only the Estee Lauder Doublewear Advanced Multi Protection Antioxidant Cream that I've been trying out. I got it in a gift of purchase, so I'm trying that out. And then my foundation is the Estee Lauder Doublewear. I'm applying that with my damp beauty blender. For concealer, I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is in shade light. Oh my god, this is so small, I can't even read it. Cannelle, C-A-N-N-E-L-L-E. So as many of you who watch my videos know, I do like to take some of the concealer that's left on my beauty blender and pat it on my eyelid to neutralize the skin there as well. So because I have super oily skin, I always have to set my foundation with a powder. And today I'm using the Hello Flawless from Benefit, and this shade is Honey. So being that I am only 4 days out from having my brows microbladed, you can kind of see how they're like scabbing a little bit. I'm missing like a few hairs like in front and up here. That's because you do have to go to 2 sessions when you do microblading, because the first time they are gonna miss spots. You always have to go back 4 to 6 weeks later and have them touch up those spots that maybe didn't take or that just need to be perfected. So because they are still healing, I'm just gonna go very, very gently with a little brow powder using Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Caramel. So I forgot to hit record. So all I'm doing is I'm just gently going over those spots that just need to be filled in a little bit. So for the eye look, I'm going to be using the Lorac Pro palettes, number 1 and number 2, mostly number 1. I'm just using 2 colors from the Pro 2, and they're shades that are just easily duped. The first thing I'm doing is taking the shade Buff, which is just any matte, light, creamy ivory color, and setting the concealer that was on my lid. So once that's done, I'm going to be taking a crease brush. This one is from Smith. It's the number 230. And I'm going to be taking the shade Taupe from the original Pro palette and applying that to my crease. Now with that same brush and a little bit of the color Sable, which is a darker brown, I am going to apply that also in my crease, but a little bit more concentrated on the outer corners. And I'm not really coming in as close to my nose. So this is what it should look like after you've blended everything together. Now with a small flat brush, this one is from MAC. It is the 242. I'm gonna go into the gold shade right here from the palette. And I know my palette looks absolutely disgusting. I'm so sorry to have to show you that, but it still works. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the brush, place it right in my crease, and slide it down. That way you get a really, really metallic effect, almost like a cream eyeshadow. Now, because I have hooded lids, and those of you with hooded lids can totally relate to this, I'm sure, the shadow kind of tends to get up into the hood, into that fold. So you want to go back in with the original shade that you used, which here would be taupe, and just kind of go back in and get rid of any of the gold shadow that might have migrated up. And then I'm also going to go back in with the sable and do the same thing. So now this look did have a very dramatic winged liner, and no, I'm not done with the eyes. We are gonna add more of like that darker smoked out brown on the outer corners like in the photo, but I like to do the wing liner first because that way it gives me a guide for that more. I mean, you can use tape, which also gives you a nice guide for that outer V, but I'm just gonna use the wing liner as my guide. So for my wing liner, I'm going to be using this liquid liner from Sephora. It is their long-lasting liner in black. I'm going to attempt to do this on camera, but we know how that goes if you watch my videos. Most of the time I'm out of frame just because, you know, I'm older. I need to get really, really close to the mirror to be able to do this. So let's see how this goes. So that didn't go too badly, but I am going to do the other side off camera and be right back. So now that my wing liner is on, I can go in and finish off the upper portion of the eye. I am going to be using the Sigma Shader Crease Brush E47. 47? Yeah, gosh, my eyesight is just going downhill. And I'm gonna be using Espresso from the Pro One. And as I said earlier, using that winged liner as my guide, I am going to just place the espresso right on this very, very corner and blend it inwards with the gold. So as you can see, I did get some fallout from that dark brown right here. So I'm just taking a makeup wipe and cleaning it up. And also this gold that somehow got down here. So I'll definitely be touching up this area with more concealer. So I've gone ahead and done my mascara, and you can leave it at just mascara as always. In the photo, however, Jade, the makeup artist, did use some pretty dramatic lashes. I believe she used the House of Lashes Starlet. I used to have those, couldn't find them though. So I'm gonna be using the Queen Bee from Koko lashes. So now that the upper portion of the eye is completed, I can go back and touch up the concealer under my eye and add some brightening powder. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm using more of my NARS concealer, maybe just focusing on the areas that got, you know, that I had to wipe away with the wipe. Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I'm taking the banana powder that's in the center and a Delium Tools 960 brush and highlighting my under eye area, or setting that concealer. I'm also going to take this highlighting powder and go on my forehead, down the center of my nose. I like to put a little bit on my smile lines, and then a little bit under here. I'm not one to bake. That's just not my thing. I also think for those of us who are a little bit more mature, it can be a little non-skin friendly. Now taking a small contour brush, this is a discontinued one from Bare Minerals. I'm gonna be mixing the middle two shades from the contour kit and just lightly contouring my face. And then for my nose, I like to just use the center color because it's a little less golden, a little bit more taupey. And I just take my finger and I run it down the top sides of my nose. So I make it a little harsh at first. And then I switch fingers and I kind of blend it out. And I make weird faces. Now in the photo I saw with the eyes open, the model did not have hardly anything in her under eye area, but she did have a white eyeliner. So I'm using this one from NYX, the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. And then I'm going to just be lightly taking a little bit of that taupe color and just running it along my bottom lash line, very, very softly, applying that to the lower lash line. Like I said, the model had, it looked like she had barely anything under there. What she did have though was a matte white underbrow highlight and what appeared to be a very shimmery white inner corner highlight. So for the matte underbrow, I'm going to be using the white from the original Lorac Pro and just any flat brush. And placing that right here under the brow. And then for the inner corner highlight, I'm going to be using the Snow from the Pro 2. And I know some people don't like the look of a very vibrant inner corner highlight. Feel free to adjust the look to your personal preferences. Now the blush appeared to be very muted, and for good reason. When you're doing so much drama on the eyes and so much drama on the lips, you want the cheeks to be very, very minimal. You could just use a bronzer if you chose. I'm gonna be using this color from Sephora collection. It's called, God, between the light and my just old eyes, I cannot see, Passionate, number 23. So this is what it looks like. It's just a muted kind of peachy brown. And I'm just gently applying that to the apples of my cheeks. And now for a little glow, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Glow Kit, and I'm going to be using Mimosa and a little Crush Pearl. Why not? So I don't own very many dark colors. A lot of you that know me know that it's only been in the last couple of weeks or months that I've actually done anything but a nude pink peach lip color. So I had to dig through my stash and I found this great one, looks so close to the one in the photo, and it's from Hot Makeup USA. and it's called Midnight. And so I also didn't have any really dark lip liners to go with it. I have this MAC Nightmoth. So first I'm gonna try the lip with no liner and see what happens. I am gonna use a lip brush though, which is my preferred method if I am using a dark color. But first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it and just apply it to my lips like that, and then kind of blot it out. So yeah, this is definitely gonna need a lip liner. Now I'm going to take a little concealer and just clean up the edges of the lip color. So while I do find this color to be a good match for the photo, it's not as glossy as I remembered, so I am gonna add a little clear gloss. This one is just by Rimmel. You can obviously use any clear gloss you choose. As you can see, this is the final look. I'm not sure how this dark lip is coming off on camera. It is so hard to not make the color look kind of patchy when you're working with such a dark color. So I'm like watching this back and I'm like, ooh, I'm not so sure how good that looks, but this camera like picks up everything. So at least it looks better in person, the dark lip. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I know it's not a perfect recreation. I mean, come on, not to underestimate my skills, but Jade is amazing. The model that she used is probably young enough to be my daughter. So I did my best and I hope you liked it. And if you do recreate the look like on Instagram, please hashtag me. I'd love to see it. Also, please subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. Comment, give me a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. I'd love to interact with you all. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.